Okay, so this is your spring final review guide. As I said in class, this is just a guide. I don't really answer a lot of the questions in this, but you can look back and I will show you, and I'm showing you how to set up every problem. For first and fourth period, if you're watching this, then you didn't get all the way through the review. So if you want to skip ahead to question number, I think y'all got up to 21, you can ask the sub to fast forward to number 21 and then y'all can finish the review. We're going to get started. So number 1, it says the median of a trapezoid measures 18 centimeters. The length of one base is 10. What's the length of the other base? So if we know one base is 10, we're trying to find what this bottom base is at the bottom. So the length between our bases and our median is going to be the same. So from 10 to 8, the difference is 8. The 10 to 18, the difference is 8. So that means from 18 and the other base is also going to be 8. So I'm going to add 18 plus 8 together, and that's going to give me my second base. Number 2, a trapezoid has exactly one pair of parallel sides. If you look at number 1 here, our parallel sides are our bases. Number 3, ABCD is a parallelogram. Find angle B. Well, in a parallelogram, there are certain properties that it has, and one of them is that the angles that are opposite each other are going to be equal. So A and C are going to be equal, as well as angles D and angles B. I'm also putting this online, so if I'm going too fast and you need to stop, you're more than welcome to. Okay, question number 4. If WXYZ is an isosceles trapezoid, WY is 3A plus 5, and XZ is 7A minus 3. Find A. Well, in isosceles trapezoids, our diagonals are equal, so that means to solve for A, we're going to set these equal to each other. So 3A plus 5 is equal to 7A minus 3. So using the triangle, number 5. Number 4, well, we're going to solve for A. And number 5, use the triangle at the right to find the values of X. So this one, we have a right triangle, we have 2 values, and we're trying to find the third value. So we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Where X is going to be our C because it's the longest side. A, B, and C don't matter. A and B, it doesn't matter which one you make, A or B. 18 or 15. So on this one, remember to square root your answer. A lot of you get to C squared equals whatever number, and then you forget to square root it. So make sure you do that. Number 6. If a classify a triangle if it exists with the sides 6, 8, and 9. In this problem, there's a few properties that we need to know. So I'm going to write them down. If C squared is less than A squared plus B squared, then that means that we have an acute triangle. If C squared is greater than A squared plus B squared, then we have an obtuse triangle. And last, if C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared, then we have a right triangle. Okay, so on this one, C is going to be our 9 because, again, C is always going to be our longest side. So what you're going to do here is you're going to do 6 squared plus 8 squared and see if that added together, if that is less than, equal to, or greater than 9 squared. Depending on which one. it tells you what kind of triangle it's going to be. Number 7, in the figure below, AC is 9 square root of 2. What's AB? So on this one, 30, 60, 90, I know a lot of students had trouble on this, so if I'm giving this long side AC, then I know that my other sides are going to be 9 from this 9 right here. So if this side right here, well, let's not do that. So if this 9 was 15, then both of these sides would be 15 as well. If it was 8, both of these sides would be 8. So those other sides just depend on what is in front of the square root of 2. Okay, number 8 here. It says, in the figure below, BC equals 12. Well, let's get away from the highlighter. BC equals 12, and then AB. So this is exactly like question number 7. These sides are the same, so if BC is 12, then that means AB is also going to be 12. Okay, number 9. AC equals, in this triangle, okay, so across from 30, this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. If you recall, across from 30, we said that was X. And then across from 90 is 2X. So if I look at this problem here, at the bottom here, X equals 10. So we're going to plug in 10 to this one over here. So AC is 2 times 10, which is 20. So AC will equal 20. Number 10 we did not do, so we're not going to put that on the quiz, on the final. Okay, a daily allowance of milligrams of vitamin C is recommended for 18-year-olds. If 10 grapes have 2 milligrams of vitamin C, which proportion can be used to find G, the number of grapes needed to provide 60 milligrams? Okay, so I have 10 grapes have about 2 milligrams. So I'm going to set up a proportion of grapes over milligrams. So I know I have 10 grapes for 2 milligrams. So, whoa. Sorry, that should be 10 grapes over 2 milligrams. Set that equal to portion to find G, my number of grapes. So I don't know what my number of grapes is, and I already said here I'm going to make a G. And then to provide 60 milligrams over 60. Now this problem is not asking you to solve, it's just asking you to set up the proportion. So that's going to be your proportion. Number 12. Mrs. Basali has been eating 3 hamburgers every 10 days. At this rate, how many hamburgers will she eat in an average year? Okay, this is similar to question number 11. So we have burgers over days. And so we know that she eats 3 burgers every 10 days. So we have 3 over 10. And we want to know how many burgers she will eat in an average year. So our number of burgers still goes on the top. We don't know. That's what we're trying to find out. And then an average year, we calculate how many days are there in a year, which there are 365. Okay, and after that, we're just going to cross multiply and solve for H. Sorry, number 13 we still have to do. Okay, so we have 3 different ways we can classify. We can see if 2 triangles are similar. So we have angle, angle, side, angle, side, and side, side, side. So for angles, my angles have to be equal, and my sides have to be proportional. So what that means is that if I have angle, angle, then that means I need to find 2 angles on this picture that are equal to each other. See if the triangles are equal. This one, I need two pairs of sides have to be proportional, and the angle in between them has to be equal. This last one, side, 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 all three of my sides have to be proportional. All three of my sides have to be proportional in order to see if the two triangles are similar. Okay, number 14. Find the value of x. In this one, we are just setting up a proportion as well. So, we have 3 over 6 equals 2x minus 2 divided by x plus 2. In this one, you're going to cross multiply and then solve for x. Number 15. The area of a parallelogram is 93 centimeters. So our area is 93. The height is 3. Find the height of its base. So if we know that the area, to find the area of a parallelogram, we have base times height. So we already know that the area is 93, and we know that the height is 3. So we can plug those in to our formula. 93 equals b times 3, and then solve this proportion for b. Not proportion, solve this equation for b. Number 16. Find the area of the rhombus below. So if LP equals 5 and MP equals 7, find the area of the rhombus below. I'm going to give you a formula sheet, but to find the area of a rhombus, we have diagonal 1 times diagonal 2 divided by 2. If we look here, this 5 and this 7, it only gives us half the diagonal. So this is 5, that means that this side is also 5. This is 7, so this other side is also 7. So we need to use our full diagonals in this formula when we're finding the area of the rhombus. Number 17. What's the area of the figure below? So in this one, first we have to do is we have to find out our missing sides. So on the top here we have 1, so that means at the bottom here we also have 1. On the side here, make that better. On the side here we have 8. So that means that this side has to be 8 as well. Make this better so you can see. So I have 3 on top and I have 2, so that makes 5. I have 3 more left, so that means that this side has to be 3. If you recall doing this, that we have to separate this into 2 different shapes. And by this line here in the middle, I already have. So I'm going to find the area of this shape right here, and then find the area of this shape right here, and then add them together to find the total area. Okay, number 18. Find the area of the rectangle. So looking at this, I have a right triangle right there. So to find the area of a rectangle, I need my base times my height. I have my height, which is 7, but I'm missing my base. So I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem to find out what my base is. Pythagorean theorem, where c is 25. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared is going to be our Pythagorean theorem. After we find what x is, then we can plug it in for b in our formula and multiply it by the height. The area, okay, number 19, find the area of the isosceles trapezoid. So this is straightforward plugging in. So base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. Make sure when you do this one that if you just type it into the calculator that you use parentheses, because if you type it in wrong, it's going to give you a wrong answer. Number, 20. Okay. The area of a rectangle is 405 inches squared. Both its lengths and its width are reduced to 1/3 the original length. what would its new area be? Okay, so the area is 405, sorry. And its length and its width are reduced to 1/3 the original length. So when we were doing this with the volume, 1/3, so the length is 1/3 and the width is 1/3. So what we're doing is that we're going to multiply our changes. So 1/3 times 1/3 are our changes. We multiply those two together, we get 1/9. And then we multiply our original area, which is 504, times our change. And that will give us my new area. Number 21, identify the solid formed if its nut were folded along the dotted lines to make a three-dimensional object. Okay, so this one is a triangular prism, and a lot of people said it's a rectangular prism, but rectangular prisms only have rectangles. So if you see anything with a triangle in it, then most likely it's going to be either some kind of pyramid or it's going to be a triangle something else. Okay, number 22. Find the volume of a cube whose edges are 14 inches. Okay, so find the volume of a cube is just like a rectangular prism. So we're just multiplying length times width times height. And in a cube, our length and our width and our height are all the same, so 14 times 14 times 14. And that will give you the volume of the cube. The volume, number 22, the volume of a prism is 216 cubic centimeters. If its dimensions were tripled, what factor would you multiply its volume? Okay, so we have a volume of a prism is 216. So the dimensions of this prism is our length, our width, and our height. Okay, so say that our length is tripled, our width is tripled, and our height is tripled. Then I'm tripling all three of those things, so I'm multiplying those all together. So 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. It's just asking you what factor would you multiply to find the volume. It's not asking for the actual volume, so 27 is going to be the actual answer. Number 24. Identify the solid form from its nets if its nets were folded along the dotted lines to form a three-dimensional figure. So mostly when it has these points coming out, it's usually going to be a pyramid. And then to figure out the base of it, you are counting. Let's make that better. You're counting how many edges I have right here. And I have 5, so. Okay, the very last one, the slant height of a square base pyramid is 17, the base edge is 16. What is the lateral area? So, this is a square base pyramid, and we're finding the lateral area. So, to find the lateral area, our formula is 1/2 the perimeter of the base times our slant height. So, since it's a square pyramid, the edge is 16, that means all the sides are 16. So, this P is the perimeter of the base. So, if I want to find the perimeter of the base, it's 16 times 4. My slant height is given to me, is 17. And I'm going to plug that in, and that will give me my answer. Okay. So, that is the end of the review for the final. I know that it went pretty fast, but you are welcome, more than welcome, to stop the video and watch it as many times as you want. I will post this on YouTube over the weekend, so you may study for it, but good luck on your final.